Alive. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Wednesday, and welcome to another episode on the Youth Wisdom on your favorite show, the A Report. And as you know, every time we come with an amazing guest, and today with us is someone who is no different from that. With us in the building today is Mr. Joel Ayong, the CEO of Integrity Oils, Integrity Sat, and Music Shop. Okay, let me stop right there and let him tell us about himself. Welcome,
That's right.
Joel.
Thank you so much.
So, tell us about yourself. Who is
All right.
Joel Ayong?
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. I've been watching videos from this podcast and I'm happy to be here. So, Joel Ayong actually is a young guy, young Cameroonian from the Northwest region, precisely Kubomi in Bengui. Yes, I'm a network engineer. So, I had a degree in information systems and networking at the ICT University. I'm a junior parliamentarian too from the Northwest region. Yeah, yes, I am the CEO of Integrity Oils, like you already know, where we produce 100% natural cooking oil from groundnuts with zero cholesterol content. Many people don't know that most of what they consume in the market is palm oil that has been refined. So we produce that, and I also run IntegriSat, which we also call it Integrity Satellites. Yeah, we provide the installation of digital devices like surveillance cameras, DSTV, Canal Plus, and so on, including Starlink satellite internet connection. So, yeah, so there's so many things I do. Not living now, Joel sax music. Yes, I'm a saxophonist, which I actually started playing from the ICT University. And today, by the grace of God, I call it Joel Sax Music. It's a whole band now. And it has an arm of it, which I'm trying to develop called Joel Sax Academy, teaching other people how to play the saxophone. So, in summary, that is Joel Ayong.
Somewhere a very busy man.
Well, in Cameroon, we have to hustle.
Very true.
Yeah.
I keep saying that I think all the guests we get to have here as multi-talented. People never come and just tell us, I do this and that's all this. And I really love that. It gives us this time to like peel back one
Yeah.
by one. So I think we
Yeah.
should start with Integrity Oils.
Integrity Oils. All right. This came into play some years back, let's say 2017, when the rally was already going on. I think I was in lower seats by then. Yes, I came back from school one afternoon and I was so hungry and there was no food at home. Can you imagine coming back, trekking over 2 kilometers, you come home, there's no food. Well, my mom explained that there was no cooking oil in the house to cook. That was the reason why we didn't have food. So she recalled that she had learned how to produce a local snack Muslims usually do. They call it kuru kuru or bakuru. Do you know that?
I think so.
It's
Maybe
made
some
with
people call it
groundnuts.
kili kili.
Quili quili,
Yeah.
exactly. So delicious, so delicious. So while she was a young girl in church, she used to attend the women's meeting, and one day they taught them how to produce that. So she said there's groundnut in the house. She knows how to produce that. She's going to do groundnut oil for us to cook. And I was like, okay, let's see magic. This groundnut that we fry and we eat, we boil and we eat. So she wants to extract oil from it. I've always been somebody that loves business from primary school, selling sweets in class, selling firewood, working in sand mines, just like Nganu. It's just that Nganu, of course, is a grand friend already. When he says he worked in sand mines, people value that so much more than us. We have not blown. So when I was waiting to see what she wanted to do, and she took the groundnut, she did some magic. I saw oil oozing out of groundnut. I was like, wow. And amazingly, we had oil to cook that day, and then we ate the snack. So we realized that we could not eat all of the snack that was left, the quili quili. So we put it in a bucket in front of the house, and people were buying. She thought this could be a business. I'm from a very humble background. So we thought this could be a business, and we were doing it. She taught us how to do it. And I came to realize that anytime we produce and we take it to the market, people ask, where is the oil that comes from this thing? And I got to realize that the oil was so valuable. The fact that people wanted the oil so much, even more than the quili quili, got me thinking. So I had to go to the market. I walked around shops in Bengui, and I got to realize that there was no cooking oil in the market. I mean, groundnut cooking oil. If you see it, you will be in a supermarket, and it is imported. So I was like, okay, this can be a good business. The moment I saw that oil oozing out from the groundnut, I had this picture of a factory. I mean, a large factory. But I actually saw it far, like in some years to come. So, cutting a long story short, I started working on that, seeing how I could produce it in a more easy way and make it more presentable, which has actually led me to where we are today. The story is so long, but I'll just try to break it down. Two things really made me take the project very seriously. One of them was a competition I took part in 2021 in Boya. They call it the ANC Startup Accelerators. Some people might know him. He had to pull entrepreneurs from around the country. They were looking for promising business ideas they could maybe sponsor. So I registered, and out of 34 startups from around the country, interestingly, I came out second.
Oh.
I was like, wait, oh. I did the OM manually, actually. And I managed to design a label for it. I had to bottle it. And I was excited that I came out second. I think the cash prize was 300K. That was not what even caught my attention. It was just the fact that the idea is worthy of recognition.
Worthy of it,
Exactly. So after that, I just believed that I could push on this and I could really make some money. Of course, you need so much capital to do that. So while at the ICT University, there was this competition that still came up. It is called a HOTS Prize. It is an entrepreneurship competition for university students around the world. So in the whole of Cameroon, just the ICT University was selected to be part of that competition. And I went into this competition with my startup. And out of 5,000 competitors all over the world, I got to the top 28.
That's impressive.
That's first in Cameroon, top 3 in Africa, top 28 worldwide.
Wow.
In Boston, in the US, actually.
Yeah.
Now, anytime I say this, I say the US embassy or US ambassador, I don't know. If I meet him, I will query him that, sir, I had this opportunity to change my life. Your embassy did not give me visa to travel. So it was so painful. It was so painful. I had a team of 4 people. Just one person had a visa. So the rest of us were online, and although we entered the semi-finals, it was a big boost because we had recognition. CRTV called us. The Prime Minister, during our graduation ceremony, he mentioned the name of my startup, mentioned my name, and I actually considered that he was prophesying. He said, we are creating jobs for young people. And that just makes me believe that no matter how an idea is small, if you believe in it and you push towards it, you can actually change lives and make good money. So I'm hoping to make good money. I'm not making good money though, but in a short while, it's going to be in the market. Integrity oil is going to be in the market, and Cameroonians will have the opportunity to consume natural cooking oil.
Made in Cameroon.
Made in Cameroon by a Cameroonian youth. Yeah.
That's amazing. I think one thing that really prompted me to want to sit down with you was like I said, making something extraordinary from ordinary.
Yeah.
I heard about a story from your social media about your mom and how
Yeah.
like just sometimes there are things that I think our parents do and we can find some sort of value in it.
Definitely.
And it was very interesting to see that you at the moment seeing your mother doing, I just want to cook. You're not thinking about, because you're hungry.
Of course.
You're hungry at the moment.
Of course.
But there was still that part of you that was like, actually, there's actually a very, it might look ordinary now, but yeah, this in a factory.
A factory.
And
I have that factory on the wall of my house right now.
Visionary.
Definitely. Definitely.
And I think I still want to go back to the point where you're like, you started from primary school.
Yeah.
I think even our last guest, Browndon was also gave a similar story. A lot of guests I've had have talked about their entrepreneurial skills right from their primary days.
Yeah.
Does it, when you're like in primary school, do you think like maybe all the things you did there are some that you still keep now, or like maybe when you're doing something a broader scale is somehow different?
Yeah. Well, I think most of the things we did in primary school, like the business ventures I was talking about, they really shaped the way we think now, the way we view life right now. Our parents made us to know that if you want to get something, you definitely need to work so that you have money to do what you want to do. So there were different things we could do. We could, like I spoke of, selling sweets. We could sell firewood. There is this medicinal plant they call ginseng.
Yeah.
It grows on the top of hills actually.
Really?
So that's one of the things I remember one time. I just have to tell this story.
Go ahead.
I remember one time I climbed several hills. I mean, like in the space of 2 weeks, digging that stuff, digging and drying, knowing that I will go and sell it and I'll make some money. So I took my time and I carried this thing to Bamenda from Bengi. I was so excited I'm going to sell this. Upon reaching and placing in front of those who buy, they told me that it's bad. I was like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
All of it. So all my effort, climbing those hills and so on. Well, yeah, I didn't say that and I felt so bad and I went back. But what I'm saying is that it planted a seed in me. Whatever you have to. So that primary school experience really shaped the entrepreneurship mindset in us. At one point, I started a small provision store at home. Although at one point I realized that the money was too small money coming in. I don't like that. I like much money from one thing, actually. Yes, so I left it. My mom is running that now. But I think it has built something in my mind. Yes, I'm not necessarily doing exactly what I was doing during that period, but I'm doing other things that are definitely creating value and giving me some money. Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Thank you.
Okay, looking into integrity oils, and many people might ask, what's the difference? We still use the oil at home, it still makes sense.
Exactly.
And I would like you to maybe explain further, like why you feel getting this pure groundnut oil compared to the ones that we have out is better.
Okay, like I was saying, many people don't know that most of what is in the market that they consume as cooking oil is palm oil that has been refined. Now, they will think because it's just blinking like that, it's groundnut oil. That's palm oil that has been refined. And usually when oil is refined, it tends to contain a large amount of cholesterol. Cholesterol actually is a waxy substance that accumulates along the walls of blood vessels. It causes traffic in the blood vessels, leading to health issues. Like, of course, you have hypertension, you have stroke, you have diabetes, and so on. Now, every person that is diagnosed with these diseases, they are restricted from consuming these refined products. Most of the times, even from consuming palm oil. And now they have to look for alternatives. Now, going into the market, you look for alternatives, you see maybe canola oil, sunflower oil, and so on. Most of them still, they are imported. And the price of that is about 3 times our normal oil for 1.5. So I'm bringing an option that is very much healthy and affordable. A liter is just 2,000 francs. So if you are consuming the normal palm oil that has been refined, you can just add 500 and eat healthy.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the health of our slogan actually is your health our priority. The health of Cameroonians and of course Africans is our priority.
That's actually very interesting. I think I never knew that information.
All right. You know that today.
Yeah, I've learned something new today.
Exactly.
So you now being into, let's go to you as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
What are some of the difficulties you have encountered in coming to this point of having integrity oils, and maybe the other we have integrity sat and all that?
Okay. There are several challenges that young entrepreneurs face. The one major challenge actually is getting funding. Getting funding. Now, you want to build a big company. There's so many young Cameroonians with amazing ideas that can change
dreams.
this nation,
Yeah.
But how do they sponsor these ideas? The banks will not give you money because you don't have any collateral. You're a young person, you don't have any house, you don't have a land, and so on. So, because those are options I've tried. And investors will not want to come into a startup from afresh. So you need to struggle and raise capital by yourself to make it really realistic, and then investors will want to come in then. So that's the number one challenge that young entrepreneurs face in this country. That's the number one challenge. Although we hear every day that the government or the Ministry of Youth is there to support young entrepreneurs and so on, that's also another challenge here, because most of the times we've tried to follow that route to benefit from what the president actually offered to young people. I'm saying this without any fear because that's what the president did. I was told that 100 billion was disbursed for young people, for young entrepreneurs. So you just need to have a project. You have something they call a biometric card, and you go through the Ministry of Youth and Civic Education. You apply for it. I've done that several times. Many people I know have done that, and you go to offices and they'll do like this and do like this. Until today, nothing. So that's a major challenge.
Oh.
You have to really struggle to be able to raise funding, and the easiest possible way usually is self-funding. Maybe you do other things and raise some money from it. Friends and families, which most of the times they'll believe in you, they will clap for you, and they'll still not give you the money because they don't have it.
Yeah.
So if you really believe in what you want to do, it's just you. You have to just keep pushing through, and then maybe applying for competitions, which I'm tired of doing. I'm not doing that again. But definitely I'm taking other methods, and that's why I'm saying that very soon it's going to be in the market. Yeah. The major challenge I will actually spill out is funding.
So,
the issue of funding.
looking like you said that there's this funding that is kept out for youths.
Yes.
Is there any particular criteria that they have given that the youth should like bring before they get that funding?
There is definitely a criteria. You first of all, like I said, you need to have a biometric youth card. You go to the Ministry of Youth, any young person, you can go to the Ministry of Youth and Civic Education and ask what it takes to create a biometric youth card to benefit from the 3-year presidential youth plan. And they'll give you all the details, all the criteria. You follow it, you can follow it to wherever you can, but the truth is that at the end, you're not getting the results. Right now, I do have the biometric youth card, and I've tried to follow. I remember I entered one office somewhere at Carrefour Tech. That is the office actually that deals with the funding for young people. I had a project, and I think my budget was 20 million. And this mama that was seated there, their job is to actually look at our project, and if it is validated, maybe they take us to the next level. She was telling me that I'm being unrealistic, having a project with such an amount as a budget. I'm like, and she told me actually that if I want to apply for this, definitely it's going to be in 2027 that I will actually get a result, a reply. And my budget is not realistic. That long. So they don't even encourage young people. They don't even encourage us to even go through that.
That's quite shocking.
I'm telling you, it's that shocking. So Cameroon has so many problems. That's one of the major problems for young people. Exactly.
To think I apply for something I tell in
2027. And they're supposed to be telling you that you are being unrealistic with your budget.
Unrealistic?
I'm like, Mama, you think 2 million can be able to produce cooking oil for Cameroon? I need to get machines, definitely. I need to get machines, and those machines are expensive. So we think maybe this option that the president has brought up can help us. And we are coming and telling us that we are being unrealistic. Maybe one of those people can watch this video. I just hope they do. And they can look for me and do something. Yeah. So it's so discouraging, actually. It's so discouraging. So we just have to look for other means, other options.
But keep going.
Definitely.
That's the important part.
Definitely.
Okay,
Definitely.
so let's talk a little bit about integrity, SAT.
Yeah.
So,
all right. And if you realize, almost everything has integrity.
Yeah,
exactly.
Let's get back to that.
There is equal integrity concepts. We are into things like this, videos, produce videos, content creation, and so on. Yeah. So integrity is like the integrity group, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, just like you have Dangote. Yeah, that's a model I'm looking at, and I'm trying to follow his steps in some ways.
Okay, sir.
So that name integrity came sometime when I was in upper seat. Yes. I had the idea of the oil yet, but I didn't have a name. So the first name that came up was IntegriSat. Then I thought I could actually use integrity for everything. Integrity satellites, integrity concept, and so on. Yeah, integrity satellites. When this crisis started, many people, they were trying to learn one thing or the other to keep themselves busy. I remember when I'm talking about the Northwest and Southwest, the Anglophone crisis, when schools were stopped, you had to do something else, right? You had to learn something else and so on. Some people were learning how to fix computers. Some people were learning how to do this one. There was nothing in Bangui that I could learn that could catch my attention. The only thing that was available was panel beating. and that was an uncle of ours was doing that. So, and they were saying that people doing panel beating, they're making so much money. I was like, okay, let me go and try. I went to that garage. He had a friend being mechanic. Because they were friends, we had to learn everything. I was there for a month, and I was like, blood of Jesus, I cannot do this kind of work. While there, I was hearing they were talking about 3 years graduation. I'm like, really? You know,
It's hard work.
it's hard work. I don't like that kind of hard work. I like to work with my mind.
Yeah.
Even if I'm working with a hand, not that kind of a thing. So I was there for 1 month and I left. I have a mark in my hand that I got from one of those cars, and I will not forget because the mark will not go. So I know that I had a period of 1 month in a garage. Although the only thing I can do right now is just remove the tire of a car. I've forgotten everything. So since I didn't have something else, I noticed we used to have issues with our satellite antennas in the house, our satellite dish, right? And they'll call these guys to come and fix, and they'll come and they'll make 30 minutes, maximum 1 hour, pap 3,000 francs, at times 5,000 francs. I'm like, wait, though, these guys, I don't see the magic they do here. I'm going to learn how to do this thing. So I didn't really have somebody that could teach me. One person like a teacher. I just went to a place whereby there were other students learning how to do the same thing, and we were learning together. I pushed and I pushed and I pushed and I learned how to do it until I was installing almost all of the satellite antennas in Bengue. I was a boss on my own. Those two bosses where I was learning how to do panel beating and mechanic, they called me to their house to come and fix the antenna, and they paid me. So I was a boss on my own. And when I moved to Bamenda, I think it was when I was to prepare for A levels. I wanted to teach people how to install this thing. I wanted to teach young people. And then I was looking for a name that I can give it. A name that will last. In fact, it was one of our teachers. It's called Mr. Tancho Divine. When I told him that I want to start a training school for this, he said, give yourself a company name. I said, okay. It took me so much time to think and pick a good company name. And then I went to visit. I hope there's enough time for this. All right. I went to visit somebody. At that same period, I wanted to learn printing. So I went to Shilo Printers, Bamenda. The person that owns Shilo Printers, I stood beside him. He was making a call, and he was on a long call, and he was talking about what is that one quality in a man that when he stands out from every other person. He kept describing that quality, and then he finally mentioned, and he said, integrity. I said, okay.
Okay.
Integrity. So I started asking myself, how can I use that word integrity to incorporate it in the name I want to use? I was thinking, nothing was coming. And then something said, of course, I'm dealing with satellite antennas. Integrity. Integrity satellites. Well, that is too long. How about IntegriSat? Just like DigiSat, CanalSat. And that's how the name came up. The first integrity branch, actually, IntegriSat. And I organized the classes as a renewed church. I had a couple of students, and it was encouraging. So I had that name, IntegriSat. Now, I got to realize that I could also use that name with the oil, integrity oils. And then as time went on, integrity concepts, and so on.
Just a man of integrity.
Exactly. So many people call me integrity now, actually, because of the oil and the other things. Now, in integrity side, we don't only do satellite antennas. When I came to Yaoundé, that's 2019, I wanted to do YouTube videos, teaching people how to do that on YouTube. So I started a channel. I mean, my very first video that I did like 100 times before I did the right video, and I was posting on YouTube. The channel is actually called Integrity Satellites. I posted about 7 videos and I just left. And after a while, I came to realize that channel grew to about 2,000 subscribers. And then the views just kept growing. I saw a video of, I think, 20,000 views, 15,000 views, 25,000 views, people writing me from different corners of Africa and asking questions. I'm like, really? This thing that I was just doing like a joke. So I got to realize that that thing does not really give me so much money. It could help sustain me, actually, in Yaoundé, but it could not really give me so much money. I had to learn other things to attach to that to Integrity. So I had to learn how to install surveillance systems. I had to learn how to install Starlink when Starlink came out.
Yeah.
And actually, that's the most profitable one right now. Starlink and the surveillance system that we install. Yeah. We'll get just one or two clients from Starlink. You have something that really makes sense. So basically, that's IntegriSat for now.
So do you still train people on how to
Install
install?
satellite antennas. I'm planning to really take one time and organize and get people, get young people, and then maybe for a period of 3 or if even a week. Yes, and within 5 days you can be able to install those things if you are smart. Yes, so I'm planning to do that. I don't want to teach people individually. It's going to take me so much time, and the person will not pay so much money though. Yes, so I'm still planning to do that. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's integrity support.
So that's why I became man of integrity.
Exactly.
So what about the man of integrity and the man of the saxophone?
And the man of the
let's
saxophone.
dive.
So if you want to look at young people that are into so many things in Cameroon, there are a good number of them, and I think I'm one of them. And the good thing is that we try to do all those so many things very well. So if you look at IntegriSat, me installing satellite antennas, I think in Bamenda was in the northwest. I was one of the best. In Yaoundé, as I've come, I mean, I've installed antennas in more than 5,000 different houses. Exactly. Now, when I came to ICT University, I loved music. Actually, I was playing the piano. I was in a band club in secondary school. I was playing the recorder, what they call the flute.
The flute, yeah.
Exactly. So I desired to play something that was bigger, because when you go to church, you cannot play that small flute. Nobody will hear you.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I was looking for something that is bigger and can sound really good. I'd never seen the saxophone before. So one day I saw Mano Dibango on TV playing
the legend.
Aye Africa. And then he make ba-da, da, 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 da. I was like, wait, dude, this is that thing I'm looking for.
That instrument.
Exactly. I had to go and check how did they call this instrument, and I got the name. So when I came to ICTU, actually I'm sweating, I need to help myself. When I came to ICT University, I heard some administrators discussing, and they mentioned the saxophone. I was like, wait, is there a saxophone in this school? They said yes. I said, okay, can I
Wow,
see?
they have a saxophone.
They do have two, and the second one was bought. I'm the one that engineered the buying of the second saxophone.
Interesting.
It's there right now. I doubt if students are even maximizing the opportunity there. So, cutting a long story short, I took that instrument. At least I was closer to them. I was disturbing my compound for a long time,
Yeah.
and I didn't have a teacher. I learned from YouTube, solely YouTube. And today I've been able to teach a couple of people already, and they play well. And I've been able to play in several places. I mean, in the houses of some ministers. On Tam Tam weekend, actually, I've gone there with my band to animate. And in fact, it's been an amazing journey. Like I said, you are doing so many things, but you are doing all of those so many things very well.
You're doing them well.
Exactly.
So the aspect of jack of all trades, master of none.
No.
Sometimes a delusion, right?
Exactly.
You can actually be a master to
Master
quite a
of
lot.
all. Exactly. Exactly. So it's either you do, to me, if I'm doing something, it's either I do it well or not at all. It's either I do it well or not at all. Now, I was also talking about integrity concepts. We're into content creation, in videography as a whole. That just came from normal passion for good videos. Exactly. Now, it got me to a point whereby there was an event Francis Ngannou was attending, and I was called to do content for somebody else. Francis Ngannou's younger brother is a friend, so I decided to do a video for Francis Ngannou. I decided to do content for him. You know, this kind of thing. Maybe a speaker comes in. I don't know if a summary of the person's the whole day in that place. Exactly. I did that for Francis Ngannou, and when I sent the video, it was like, who did this? They said, this guy. And it was like, what's the camera he used? I said, my phone. No, I used my phone. It was like, wow. He promised me a camera. I still need to go and ask him. He has not given me that camera yet. But what I'm saying is that I was able to impress Francis Ngannou from that still. Yes, so I think I did it well. Among the many things, I could do that one well. And we had several gigs that we have been called to come and create content. So if I sit in my house today, and I don't necessarily have a full-time job somewhere, I'm expecting a call from anybody, maybe for a birthday surprise, like the one I'm going to do after this,
Yeah.
maybe for Starlink, or maybe for surveillance systems, or maybe for satellite antennas, which I don't really do that much again because I will charge you too much and you might not be able to pay, or maybe for videos. So I have so many sources that I can be able to have something for myself right now.
Yeah, I think that keeps you in a safe place when
It
it
does.
concerns
It does. In
finances.
this Cameroon, it does.
Yeah, let's precise in this Cameroon. It does.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think a lot of times when I look into entrepreneurs, there's always, most of them, I think they have this musical aspect. I think even
Okay.
Timmy Berry says saxophonist,
See me very, yeah, 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 yeah.
fighting with saxophonists. I've seen a couple of other entrepreneurs that are into music in a way.
Yeah.
Is there some sort of, I always wonder, is there some sort of alliance into like the music and the work that there's
Well,
something that links the two?
I don't know because I think music for me, we started very young in church. When the church bought the piano and there was no piano in church, so we had to just keep trying, jan, until one day we could play. We just loved it, and it just happened that we also loved entrepreneurship. So I don't know whether there is a link, possibly.
Are there like principles that apply in both? 'Cause I feel like to learn an instrument is a very daunting task and it takes a lot of discipline.
It takes
I
a lot of
think
discipline.
same thing with trying to build
A business.
business.
Exactly. Discipline is something that is common. Music and focus. Yeah, you cannot learn the saxophone if you're not focused. You cannot build a startup if you're not focused. So definitely there are some disciplines that apply to both.
So let's find out some certain values you hold very dear to you that have helped you over the years.
Okay. First and foremost, integrity.
Yeah.
Exactly, integrity. Because you get to a point where you work with some people, and I mean people, big names actually. It's not the fact that you are excellent that will keep you there, keep those connections, those contacts. It's the quality of integrity. It's your attitude actually that will make you to be able to maintain that. So to me, integrity is one of the major things I hold. Now, some of my services, they might say I'm too expensive. Yes, I will tell you that this is my price. And I'll give you the job, the quality I actually said I'm going to do. I will not actually try to be cheap and then maybe manage the money and give you something. Exactly. So I come out expensive, but I make sure I work with integrity. Exactly. And then discipline. If you are not disciplined, you cannot do all these things. You cannot. I would have left even a saxophone. Yeah, but at least I'm still on it. I think last Wednesday I was at Hilton. I was called by the South African embassy to come play. I was the only artist I was called actually for their national day. And there were so many dignitaries, so many ministers, ambassadors, and so on. It's because of discipline also that I could be able to. And how did they even know about me? They saw me playing somewhere. This South African ambassador saw me playing somewhere and he loved it. Because I was disciplined to build the skill so well that I could impress an ambassador, I was called onto that. So I think that's one of the major qualities. Focus, discipline, integrity. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to ask you a very daunting question now, maybe.
Go on
If you're asked to drop one thing,
to draw one thing.
yeah, right now it's just like between maybe the integrity oils and your saxophone.
Okay. The answer to that for me is not difficult, though.
Oh, okay.
But I can never drop my saxophone, first of all. So in all of what I'm doing right now, the major thing I'm working on, the major focus is integrity oils.
Okay.
Exactly. So when it is officially launched, I'm going to leave almost everything, but I'll not leave my saxophone. I cannot do that.
The music is the heart.
Exactly. So I'm going to focus on integrity oils for a period of time. Then I can pick up the other ones.
The other ones, right.
Exactly.
Okay, so what should we be expecting the coming months of integrity oil?
Yeah, in the coming months, expect integrity oils to be in the market. Expect 100% natural cooking oils.
How wide in the market?
How wide?
Yeah.
Of course, Cameroon first. The Cameroonian market first. But we are looking at Africa and, of course, worldwide.
Why not?
The mistake that most of the times young entrepreneurs make in Cameroon or even in Africa is that they think small. They think small. They think survival. They have the mindset of just to survive. Every single person was created with an assignment, with a purpose. And the person that created you is a big person, is a big God.
It's a big God.
He thinks big. So you should think big. If you have this idea and you think you can be able to touch the lives of the people of this community, definitely you can touch the lives of people of another community. So somebody said, think local but act global. Or think global, act local. You're thinking globally. And then of course you can start small here.
Start local.
Exactly. And then you definitely have to put in your mind that you have to scale this thing up. Don't make any only in maybe, let's say Yaoundé or take us in my quarter. People are buying and consuming oil and I'm satisfied. No. Think extremely big. That's one quality I identified with these Bamileke people. Those are the wealthiest people in this country, right?
That's what I've heard.
Exactly. They are. I've been to the West and most of them, this Samuel for you. Have you heard of that name?
No.
Even the Francis Ngannou, that's a Bamileke man.
Yeah.
The person that has Dove, it's a Bamileke man.
It's a Bamileke person. Oh, that's interesting.
The person that has Conjerkam, Bamileke man. So those people have a culture of thinking extremely big. You just you greatly. If you're thinking just small, you remain small. You can never be bigger than what you think. Exactly. So, yeah.
All right, I think we're almost come to the end of this interview, but before I leave in, I would like you to just give, if you were to give an advice to maybe a youth out there that is having an idea in mind, like you had when you thought
Yeah.
about integrity oils, or when you just thought about, oh, I'm going to have a factory one day. How did they go from that idea to maybe like realizing it?
Yeah. So, what I would tell any young person that has an idea is, of course, that idea was given to you, not to anybody else. So believe in it. It might be so difficult to push through or to pull through. Believe in your idea. Make sure every day you take a step towards that idea being realized. Whatever you do every day, make sure you're one step closer to achieving that. Even if it's one thing, even if it's one person you need to meet, make sure every day take a step. Again, believe in your dream. Believe in your dream. You can never be more than what you see. I am a person of faith and I always take reference to the scriptures, to the Bible. I remember one time when God wanted to give land to Abraham, he told him that as far as your eyes can see, I'm going to give to you. So that idea that you have is only as far as you can see that you can achieve. You cannot achieve anything more than that. And like I said, it's going to be really difficult and it's going to be rough. But if you cling to it, it's just a matter of time. Yeah,
He said, see the vision, go after the vision, don't be scared.
definitely.
All right, so at this point, I'm getting back saying, oh my God, when integrity always comes out, I would like to have mine. How
Of
will I
course.
get it? How can I get to you,
Of
the
course.
Mr. Integrity? So,
Of course, of
just
course.
us.
Don't bother. Actually, you can. We're on social media.
All right.
Integrity always has a Facebook page, and all our contact details are there. I can give you my personal contact for now. Maybe you
Yeah.
want to call me for other things, not for integrity oils for now. Integrity oils, when the time comes, we are going to come to you. Or don't bother. So on Facebook you can find me, Joel Ayong, or the Facebook page Integrity Oils. On LinkedIn, you can also see me there, Joel Ayong. And my phone number, WhatsApp actually, 682 590750. 682 So you can also call me to come make a loved one cry on their birthday. Yeah, that's one major thing I do with the saxophone. From here, I'm going to make somebody cry. So yeah,
Tears of joy, though.
tears of joy, tears of joy. So definitely, and if you need Starlink, of course, if you need if you need security cameras to be installed in your facility, yes, you can call and we'll be able to do that for you excellently.
He's the man for everything. He's the man of integrity. Apparently.
100%.
Thank you so much for joining us today in the studio, Joel.
And I must say, actually, I like your setting here.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would just encourage you to keep it up.
Oh, all
To
right.
keep it up.
Yeah, and same back. Back at you.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
really looking forward to actually getting that integrity oil.
You will definitely. Actually, I do have some few bottles at home. Never mind, you will get yours.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm already 5 months tears of joy now. So it's making me cry. All ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today for this particular interview. It has been wonderful having Mr. Joe with us. And please do contact him, whether it's integrity or your satellites. If you want to cry your birthday, want your loved one to cry, like you said,
Yeah.
is the man to ring. So thank you for joining us this episode. See you on next episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Bye.